A 2007 study by the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that testosterone levels in men have been dropping by 1% on average across the globe since the 1980s. This is a problem because testosterone is extremely important. A deficiency often leads to lower muscle mass, lower energy, lower confidence, increased mood swings, increased anxiety, and a decreased desire to pursue potential mates. Today I want to go over the top 3 ways you can boost your testosterone so that you can live a more enjoyable life. A lot of this information is repackaged from Andrew Huberman's work. There's a 2-hour-long podcast that I will link to in the description box below for those that are interested. I also took some insights from my own life as I've been tracking my testosterone levels for the past 3 years. In fact, I'm going to tell you the one thing that boosted my testosterone the most at the end of this video, so make sure you watch till the very end. With that being said, let's jump right into it. The first way you can increase your testosterone is to make sure that you are sleeping properly. You see, the majority of your testosterone is produced during the REM stage of sleep. This means that anything that interferes with your sleep can negatively impact your levels. I know a lot of people like to smoke a joint or drink a beer before bedtime as they think it helps them fall asleep faster, but these habits have been shown to reduce the amount of REM sleep that we have, which in turn can negatively affect the production of our testosterone. On top of that, you want to make sure that you are getting good, uninterrupted sleep. See, it turns out that 25% of men have sleep apnea, which is when you stop breathing properly while you're sleeping. If you snore loudly or catch yourself waking up in the middle of the night over and over again, there's a decent chance that you might have sleep apnea. How do we address this? Well, the first way to prevent sleep apnea is to lose weight. If you are overweight, you'll have extra deposits of fat around your neck, which causes your airways to compress while you're laying down sleeping. So losing weight has been drastically shown to reduce the occurrence of sleep apnea. The second way to prevent sleep apnea is to make sure that you are breathing through your nose instead of your mouth. Nose breathing provides up to 20% more oxygen as compared to mouth breathing. Mouth breathing simply isn't as efficient and has been shown to lead to significantly higher occurrences of sleep apnea. The best way to train yourself to breathe through your nose while you sleep is to place some tape on your mouth. It doesn't have to be very strong tape, just a little piece in the middle of your mouth, and this will psychologically influence you to avoid breathing through your mouth throughout the night. And finally, when you do wake up in the morning, you want to make sure that you get sunlight first thing in the morning, at least 10 minutes, which can be done by standing next to your window and looking outside. Although it is recommended that you go outside for a 10 to 30 minute morning walk. This helps your body release cortisol at the right time in the morning, which ensures that cortisol levels are lower during nighttime while you're sleeping, which leads to better sleep. Next, I want to tell you about what I believe gave me a 200 NGDL boost in testosterone. But before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about the sponsors of today's video. Let's get checked. The tricky thing about improving one's testosterone level is that it's hard to see if what you're doing is working without data, which is why I suggest that people periodically check their testosterone levels, which is why today's episode is brought to you by Let's Get Checked. Let's Get Checked is an at-home health testing service that requires no appointments and no going to clinics, giving you physician-approved results in the matter of days. The process is very simple. They send you a test kit with a mouth swab and prick for collecting blood. Here's my assistant taking the test. It's quick and simple as you can see here, and after just waiting for a couple of days, he got his test results, which he can view online. It's good to know where you're at because maybe your issues are caused by low testosterone, maybe they are not. You won't know for sure unless you get tested. Let's Get Checked is incredibly affordable in my opinion. I've been quoted much higher numbers at clinics. I recommend getting the male hormone complete test, which will test for several of the most important hormones such as prolactin, high levels of which have been shown to interfere with testosterone production. I suggest you check yourself now by going to trylgc.com/pill and using coupon code PILL25, where you will get a 25% discount off your next order. After implementing the advice in this video, I suggest you check yourself again after half a year and see if there are any improvements. That's basically the only way to know if the strategies that we discuss in this video are working or not. Now back to the topic at hand, the second best way to increase your testosterone is to work out. A study conducted in 1983 found that testosterone levels in men increased by 21% right after a workout. Most of you already know this, but the question remains, what is the best way to work out when it comes to maximizing testosterone? Well, according to Andrew Huberman, the best thing to do is to lift heavy weights using compound exercises. This includes exercises like squats and bench press, which target multiple larger muscle groups at once. Now, when lifting, you should aim to end up pushing somewhere between 80 to 95% of your maximum strength, of course after doing warm-up sets. And when you are doing your heavy lifts, you should only do 1 to 8 reps, never pushing yourself to failure. Doing all of this will increase your testosterone levels for up to 48 hours after the workout. And if you want to do cardio, it's best to do it after lifting weights or on days where you don't lift at all. And ideally, you should not do cardio for more than 75 minutes, as it's been found to drastically increase cortisol levels, which in turn decreases testosterone. And finally, let's talk about the one thing that managed to boost my levels the most. A study was conducted by the University of Queensland in 2010. They sent researchers to a skate park to interview and record 96 male skateboarders doing tricks. Afterwards, they took saliva samples to measure their testosterone levels. The study found that skateboarders who were being filmed by female researchers had a whopping 30% higher level of testosterone than those who were being filmed by male researchers, which suggests that being around and performing in front of potential mates drastically increases your testosterone levels. Just how effective is this? Well, a couple of years ago when I first got my levels tested, I had an 850 NGDL. During this time, I was single and I was actively going out every day talking to girls everywhere. At the mall, at restaurants, randomly on the street, I was constantly engaging with potential mates, and in a way, I was also performing, because I would almost always end up bringing my dates to the club to show off my dance moves. Something interesting to note is that I was also drinking quite a lot this year, which should have decreased my testosterone levels. The next year, I got tested again, and my levels dropped to roughly 650 NGDL. During this year, I drank less than once a month on average, and I was also lifting heavy weights much more consistently, both of which should have given me higher testosterone levels, yet I scored 200 points lower. Now, I believe this is because during my second year, I was in a long-term relationship, which means that I was no longer going out every day and interacting with potential new mates. This sounds a bit crazy, but studies have found that men in long-term relationships have significantly lower levels of testosterone compared with single men. Now, I'm not saying that you should break up with your partner just to try and maximize your test. What I am trying to say is, if you are single, you absolutely should be going out and interacting with potential mates as much as possible. This will give you a huge boost in testosterone, which would actually make it easier for you to succeed in the courting process with the added confidence and the improved physique. And if you happen to get a girlfriend or boyfriend and you really like them, then you can still maintain high levels of testosterone by using the other methods mentioned in this video, as well as a few others that I did not have time to include. If this video does well, I might make a part 2 and cover those. I hope this video was helpful, and besides that, guys, stay tuned.